For years, a 2-year-old girl was held captive by a fear she couldn't name, standing frozen at the threshold of a single room in her own home. Her tiny hand would cover her mouth, her eyes wide with a silent terror as she stared into the void, refusing to take another step, even at her mother's coaxing. It was only when her words finally came that she gave a shape to the horror. A scary man, with a face of red and black and burning crimson eyes, watching her from the closet. This was not an isolated nightmare. Her brother spoke of an imaginary friend named Marcus, a boy who would try to play with him in the shadows. The most chilling evidence, however, was etched into the family's own skin. Deep, unexplained red scratches that would appear on their arms. The haunting was real. A poltergeist infestation that tormented them all until the day they fled their home, leaving the man with the red eyes and the boy named Marcus behind in the silence. Dan Sutherland's baby girl, Lily, has become obsessed with a seemingly ordinary closet, her gaze locked on the plain wooden door, as if seeing something he cannot. There is nothing remarkable about it, except for the heartbreaking secret hidden inside. Unbeknownst to Lily, stored within that closet are the personal belongings of her recently departed grandmother, including the very shirt she wore on her final day. Items Dan had moved there just before Mother's Day. It was only after this that Lily's fixation began, her face now lighting up with a quiet, knowing pleasure as she stares into the void. The timing is too precise, her reaction too serene. Dan is left with a chilling and beautiful question. Is his daughter simply captivated by nothing, or is she sharing a silent, comforting moment with a grandmother who never really left? The answer may be written in the innocent joy on a baby's face, gazing at a love that transcends even death. A child's innocent playtime twists into a scene of primal terror as he becomes fixated on a blank wall, his shrieks echoing through the room. His reaction is an unsettling cocktail of frantic excitement and genuine fear, his small body recoiling again and again, as if an invisible presence is advancing toward him. She is clearly captivated by something the camera cannot see, holding a one-sided conversation with the empty space. Is this a child's vivid imagination giving life to a shadow? Or are we witnessing the terrifying moment a toddler perceives a visitor from another realm? The wall is a void, a blank canvas for our deepest fears. The question is not what the child is doing, but what he alone can see that has him so utterly and completely mesmerized, and so clearly afraid. During a quiet family moment, an infant's joyful expression suddenly shifts to one of deep confusion, his eyes locking onto an unseen presence moving through the room. His parents watch in stunned silence as their child's gaze intently tracks something invisible passing directly by him. A silent, phantom procession that only he seems to witness. In a moment of chilling synchronicity, a children's song playing in the background perfectly narrates the eerie event, its lyrics commanding "say bye-bye," just as the infant's head turns to follow the entity's apparent exit. The haunting coincidence is then punctuated by a silent, glowing orb streaking across the ceiling. A final spectral signature, confirming that the family's home was not empty, but shared with a presence that chose to reveal itself only to the most innocent eyes. In a chilling moment caught on tape, a toddler's innocent words send a shiver of dread through her own home. When her mother asks who she sees, the little girl, in a tiny British accent, points toward the staircase and utters two terrifying words: "Man stairs." The childish pronunciation does little to soften the horror of her claim, that a strange man is standing watch in their living room, a silent observer only she can perceive. As the conversation continues, a palpable fear takes hold of the child. She becomes visibly anxious, refusing to look up from her toys, her body language screaming that she no longer wants to see the spectral visitor. There is no playful smile, no sign of a childish fabrication, only the raw, genuine terror of someone confronted by a presence that should not be there. This isn't a game. It's a haunting witnessed through the eyes of the most vulnerable among us. A mother's quiet evening is shattered by a violent bang from outside, plunging her home into an unnerving silence as the electricity suddenly dies. In the darkness that follows, her young son, Raphael, begins to converse with the empty air, his innocent voice cutting through the stillness as he speaks to a presence only he can perceive. When his mother returns to check on him, the scene is deeply unsettling. Raphael's attention is fractured, his eyes darting between her and an empty space in the room, as if pulled by an unseen force. His struggle to focus is palpable, a silent tug of war over his awareness. This is more than a child's imagination. It's the terrifying suggestion that when the lights went out, something else came in, and it vies for the boy's attention, leaving us to wonder if a spectral visitor is truly to blame. A child's innocent laughter fills the room, but the source is a chilling mystery. Her gaze remains locked on an empty spot on the ceiling, captivated by a presence only she can see, as if sharing a secret joke with the void. The joyful interaction takes a sinister turn when she suddenly grows quiet, her eyes still fixed upward as she is slowly led from the room, compelled to follow an invisible companion. Her attempts to show her parents fall on blind eyes, leaving her alone in her silent conversation with the empty air. Most unsettling is her final act, reaching up as if begging to be held by the unseen entity. This is not the fear of a monster, but something far more deceptive. A calculated performance by a presence masquerading as a friend. The question is not if something is there, but what it truly wants with a child who trusts it so completely. Before we get to number 1, please subscribe to the channel for more daily scary videos. In a moment of pure domestic tranquility, a mother films her child at the foot of a staircase when a sudden unseen presence shatters the peace. The little girl's smile instantly vanishes, her eyes widening as she stares at something just beyond the frame. A fleeting terror that causes her to retreat into the next room, only to have the memory seemingly wiped away as quickly as it appeared. But the evidence of the encounter may have been captured. As the child reacts, a mysterious orb of light glides silently across the ceiling. Skeptics may dismiss it as a wandering speck of dust, but could it instead be a spectral guardian? A long-departed relative drawn to the innocence of their descendant, making their presence known in the only way they can. The child has already forgotten, but the recording remembers.